Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video. Today we are going to be making these spinnerbait arms. Quite useful. It extends the use of your soft plastics. Now, there are a lot of videos out in the internet, or there's a few videos of these, but we will be making ultralight versions. So this is sort of something very useful for ultralight fishing in both fresh and salt water. So for freshwater in the States, you could use this for panfish and smaller bass or some other soft plastic targets like perch or whatnot. In freshwater in Asia, you could actually use this for snakeheads. Quite useful. I've used spinnerbaits and spinnerbait arms for snakeheads back in the Philippines with good success. Obviously, I had to make mine because I couldn't really buy them at first, and then some random sellers actually sold real spinnerbaits. So, got some spinnerbaits for snakeheads. Been using them or have used them. Quite effective, quite fun to use. All you gotta do is really just cast them out, let them sink, and then reel. Now, I've used these on the flats with some really good results in times where it's slow, or sometimes when I'm just lazy to actually work the lures. These are very good search lures. You just cast it out, let it sink, reel it in, and the fish bite. These extend the use of your soft plastics, be it curl tail, some weird tail such as this one, a swimming tail nonetheless, and also your paddle tails. I will be using 124 pound wire for this because I found that the thickness is just right and the strength is actually quite good. You don't need a long piece, so it really depends on how small or how big you want it to be. The very first step I do for this is actually the swivel, because they're kind of tiny and it's fiddly, especially for ultralight where you're using tiny swivels. And this stuff is so tiny. Or maybe I could find a smaller one. Like right there, that one. That's perfect. Alright, so with that, we need a very small split ring as well. This is the first step that I usually take because once you have it all assembled, it's just easy to put things together. Now, note on blades. For willow leaf gives you a lot of flash, very little vibration, and Colorado styles such as this, Colorado blades, give you a lot of vibration and a bit of flash. And I choose this because of the vibration, and especially when you're fishing in water which is not too clear, it's a very good thing to have the vibration. And I find that the fish, especially in dirty water, find the lure with the most vibration, or the vibration at least that they like, even in very overcast days, and sometimes even when it's dark. So it's always nice to have lures that have that little bit of vibration to add to the curl tail or the paddle tail. It already has a vibration, but having a vibrating blade tends to help a bit more. Okay, so very first step is to make a curl at the very end of the wire. This curl will contain, or will actually hold, the swivel with the blade. Squeeze that down. Right there. Kind of forms a P. Okay. Now we bend the length right there. Okay, choose your length, then you bend it. So I'm gonna be making this a tad longer, like that. Okay, now take your eye tool, like so. Put it at the very end of that crimp and then press down. It'll give you a loop. And then bend that back. And you'll see it forms sort of like an R. Okay, make sure that everything is straight before you proceed. Okay. This one's a bit crooked. I'm gonna fix that to make it perfectly straight. There we go. That's pretty straight. And then crimp it down so that you form that little R. Okay. Like that. Next step. Needle nose pliers. Hold that like so. Bend it down like that. Okay. Again, try to keep everything as straight as possible. And what that does is you have an eye, and just in case your line goes around, okay, just in case your leader goes around, it'll just pass through that and then pull, and it'll go back to normal. If you put an eye there, a solid eye, like we do with other lures, it'll tangle and you'll have a bit of a mess. Alright, so from here, okay, so as you can see, it's perfectly straight, right? Like that. Now we take our pliers, line it up with the eye right there. Take our pliers, okay, and then we form an eye. So go like that, bend it back, form a circle. Like so. Okay, so once that circle's formed, you go back like that, and then make another 90-degree bend like that. Put it back here. Okay, so as you can see, there's that 90-degree bend. Like so. Okay, so that's the form right there. Squeeze that a bit. You don't want it to be too big. So like that. And then take your pliers like that, bend. And what you want is to bend this a little bit like so, okay? Before you actually get your bolt cutter and cut it short like that. Once you cut it short, what you want is take your pliers and bend that. That's gonna be your safety pin. Okay, you can see it there. Okay, so that's what you use to open and close it. Now you take your jig, mount it like that. Put the safety clip back on, and there you have it. You have your spinnerbait. So it's quite easy actually. It's not that complicated. Very, very useful, and it extends the use of your soft plastics. Alright, so if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. And for those that have liked and subscribed already, or subscribed, thank you very much for your support. If you have questions, please comment down below. I'll see you in the next one.